Greetings, everybody. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Kenshi Shek's Conquest, episode 78, Streamer Luck. Glad I noticed that. He's been, like, bleeding out subterraneally for a bit now, I think. Another thing I wanted to show, if I could find a live non-security spider, like one of these iron spiders. Which, now that I want to find one that's active, they're all inactive. There's got to be an active one in here. Okay, here's an active one. So these guys have an attack of mid-30s, right? And then the security ones... Okay, enough with the loud violin. The security ones inside have mid-50s. So they're very tough. Comparatively. They're just not the same. In the healing time, I can clean up and throw the spiders out. Why? I don't need to. I already have enough camp bed stuffing to do. I'm also kind of running low on food. Well, not low, but you know, I gotta keep an eye on my food supply so I don't get too hungry. So King and Night Knave are good to go. King was particularly effective in the last fight. He definitely knocked out and did more damage than most of the others were able. Headshots... Yep, headshot's good. I might need headshot to trade with Tora. No, she's got plenty of bolts left. That's not gonna be an issue. Alright, let's pull. You're next. And at this point, I think I'm gonna choke up a little bit. Take the advice, use more of the terrain that I have available to me, and have my backups wait around this part of the tower. Hey, Bagos Moles. Thanks for the resub. Cheers. Oops, Night Knave is not on hold and passive. Come on, Orin. You're better than this. Orin is getting super smashed. Thunk. Poetic. My martial artist. King, stay out of this. Well, he could take a beating. Poetic didn't go down, so that's an achievement, I guess. But there ain't much left of his body. Just kind of holes where a person used to be. Let's patch Orin up with, Here, King, you have meds, right? And Sangar, welcome to the stream. Try kiting the spiders? No, that's not the Shek way. This is a role-playing series, so we don't do things like that. We fight them fair and square. I know how to kill them. I have hundreds and hundreds of hours in Kenshi, but as part of the challenge, we are role-playing as if we're Shek, and Shek would not run from a challenge. They would face it square on, even if it cost them life and limb. 'Tis the Shek way, my friend. 'Tis the Shek way. And I am only allowed to have one bow person headshot, because she is a bow person by default. So kiting wouldn't really even help that much, unless it was an emergency. So, yeah, if my life was at stake, I would kite. You know, if everybody was gonna die if I didn't. Like, let's say I pissed off, like, 50 Leviathans. Okay, I'm kiting, right? But other than that, nah. We stand our ground and we fight. Alright, King was gonna take this one because he's fully healed. Kang has pretty good armor comparative to everybody else. He is black and chainmail specialist grade and white plate jacket masterwork grade, which is why there's so much damage in those numbers that are getting mitigated, which is why you can tank more. It's not that he's like, I mean, he is tougher. What is his toughness comparatively? His toughness is 47 compared to, let's say, Poetics, who just got knocked out, which is 43. So it's not that his toughness is so much higher, it's that his armor is just a little bit higher classed. His melee defense, though, is particularly high, which is why he's able to... There, 2 defenses, 2 parries in a row, 3 parries in a row. And that's really what sets him apart from the rest. It's a bit of the armor and a bit of the melee defense. And that's why he can pretty easily tank a spider, whereas others are getting dropped. Although, yeah, let's put the backpack back on. Did I buy this armor? No, I made it. This is crafted by Chemo. This is crafted by you. It just takes, it takes like a decade to make a piece of armor, so. Alright, I think that's floor 2 clear. So now we're up to floor 3. We're getting there. We are definitely getting there. I only have a few left to tank, though, so we're probably going to nearly run out of able bodies soon. Although some of these guys are probably close to heal. Oh, hello. Close to heal. And Vix, thanks for the follow. I like how you subbed first, then followed. Oh, wow. Headshot, headshot. And she dropped this one quick. That L's barely contributed to that. I'm not going to say he didn't at all. He hit for like, I don't know, 32 damage maybe or something like that. But headshot just ripped that robot's head off. It happens every now and then. Metaproxy, thanks for the follow as well. So if you were playing on your own and you wanted to do one of these labs, all you really would need to do is to show up with like 2 crossbow people and have one walk away from the spider and the other one shoot the spider. And if you had enough bolts, you could win without getting hit once. It's not very difficult, but that's true of almost all targets in Kenshi. Almost everything in Kenshi is melee. Melee or mounted. There's only one type of enemy in Vanilla Kenshi that shoots ranged that isn't a mounted weapon. So that's why it's so easy to just shoot everything from distance. Just the way Kenshi is designed. Is chainmail worth it or not? It heavily depends. Chainmail, I would say, is worth it. Let me lower the music a little bit. Chainmail is most worth it when you're using armor that doesn't have perfect coverage as backup. So if you're using something like samurai armor that only covers your arms 90% of the time, so 10% of the time the armor does not work, chainmail is worth it because if your armor doesn't work and you're not wearing something tough underneath, you're going to lose your arm against a really strong attack. So those are situations where it's like absolutely worth it. Chainmail's not so much worth it if you're if you have really, really good coverage already. And you don't really have to worry about shots getting through your armor. Or if you know, rely on... How to put this? Chainmail's not that worth it if you take a look at the stats here. So, crossbows, stealth, dodge, dex. If those things are things that you rely upon, chainmail might not be worth it because chainmail hurts those combat effects. So... chainmail would be absolutely awful on someone like Headshot because it would mean that she would shoot a lot slower. So that would be a huge and totally unnecessary penalty for her to incur. Using plate armor that has 100% coverage, is it a waste then? So it's a little complicated to talk about the way armor works, but basically the way it works is... if you look at something like cut efficiency, so just give me 1 second. cut resistance and efficiency, the higher your resistance are, the more that is deflected fully. And then what isn't deflected turns into blunt damage based upon the cut resistance efficiency that then transfers into your blunt resistance, which then has to get mitigated from lower layers. So chainmail and leather armor doesn't really have good blunt resistance. So at that point, if you're really, really, really well armored, it almost doesn't even matter what shirt you have underneath, because the cutting damage that you get hit with will turn into unmitigatable blunt damage, a significant amount of it. So there is a very good argument to be made that if we truly want to be very tanky Shek, we should have heavy armor, not medium armor. Because right now, of course, we're sporting medium armor. So there's a very good argument to be made that we should move up to the heavy armor class when we want to take on the Shek Kingdom and the Holy Nation. And I could totally understand why. The reason I haven't done it yet is those armors will make us move a lot slower. So until we have to fight an enemy that warrants the really tough, slow-moving armor, it doesn't make sense when we're having to run around the map to encumber ourselves. Because there is no such thing as, like, armor-wearing proficiency. There's weapon proficiencies, but not armor proficiency. Your character doesn't get better at wearing heavy armor. So, you know, don't wear it until you need it. So there's a, you know, there's different schools of thought about what's necessary, what's best, etc. But what I will say is there's definitely an advantage to wearing really heavy plate armor, even if it doesn't have perfect coverage, because it will help you significantly defend most of the most devastating attacks, but at a cost. So I think our meta might end up being something like blackened chainmail plus samurai armor for like the super duper ridiculous tanking. But we'll see. I'm gonna leave it up to public polling. Okay, yep, step in for a Slotus if you can. A Slotus, back up. Headshot, back up. Headshot, you're still yeah, you're still shooting. Alright, Chemo, you might need to step in. Iguvin, you leave. You're hurt enough. Oh, good shot, Chemo. That was actually Chemo getting that final blow. Not Headshot for once. Headshot did, again, like probably 7/8 of the work. But killing blow was Chemo. Look at our, like, triage camp. We have so many guys that are just broken. Heavy armor proficiency called strength? Yeah. Yeah. Because heavy armor weighs a ton. So if you're too weak to carry it, obviously you're not going to be effective. You're going to be walking around at like 5 miles an hour. Hey, JD, thanks for the resub. Almost up to the big 30 months. So these are the only healthy ones I have left, but we only have 2 robots left, so we should be able to get through all the robots and start looting the facility without having to rest. Unless I, like, get super unlucky and get monster trucked. Hey, Savior! Thanks for gifting out subs to the community. You'll get the pink blush cam. And Headshot did it again. Chemo got the final blow, but Headshot, I'm going to attribute yet another kill on these sex spiders. Is this all vanilla? More or less. There's the mod list there. It's more or less vanilla. Pretty close. Pretty dang close. All right, last bot. Yeah, the healing mod that I have up is just slightly faster. And it's mostly for streamer reasons, because sleeping for like 36 hours to recover can be honestly extraordinarily boring. Oh, horse. What the heck? Get back up here. Glitch lands hits. Oh, glitch blocks! Once. And once only, probably. Thunk. Alright, Case, you're up. Glitch, stay down. Most of why these spiders are so difficult, if it was a humanoid with similar stats, the fight would be a lot easier. The spiders are so difficult because they stagger. And that's really the death knell here. I want to make that clear as well, is like, human enemies that have like mid-50 stats would be a lot easier for us to kill. It's the knockback staggering effects that is so devastating. So, Case, you'll heal up. And what's funny is, Leviathans, which are some of the toughest enemies in the game, can be staggered pretty easily. So, you can basically stagger lock like some of the biggest, most ridiculously sized. I might even go find a Leviathan just to show you guys. But it's rather hilarious when you stagger lock a Leviathan. I don't think we're going to be capable of doing it with like katanas, but I've done it before and it's awesome. So, King, you might not be fully healed, but you have the bag space to loot. And then Els, how are you doing? Oh, and King, you should grab your backpack, your camp bed. Everybody is responsible for their own beds. And Els is conscious enough to help us lockpick the things that are tough. His arm's kind of mushy, but that's fine. Do creatures stagger lock you like that? Not as much, no. The spiders, I'm trying to think. The spiders are mostly the ones that stagger the most. Harpoons will stagger you too. Yeah. Animals are mostly like devastating AoE. So here we go, prediction time. All the predictions are in. And let's see how many AI cores I get. I'm gonna get like 0, aren't I? 2 books. Not bad haul so far. 3 more books, 5 books. Hey, Shona. Yeah, just heal up. We'll have King practice. There we go. The ASMR lockpicking. It's perfect. Gotta find that sweet spot. Take your time. So only 9% chance to succeed. No problem failing over and over. Not like you have people watching you, King. Hey, Shona. So you know I said just heal up your leg? I lied. King might be fast, but his lockpicking skills is seemingly embarrassing right now, so go help him out. Go help a battle brother out. Just gonna show up and do it first try. No, okay. At least there's that. Worst case scenario, I can have Els jump in. That's why I have Els up here. But he doesn't have a particularly high lock chance right now either because of his arm injury, which is actually a pretty good chance to have him, you know. No, it's actually not even an arm injury. There we go. Finally, it's open. 1 core, 10 books? 10 books. Ordy eck. That is a lot of books in one little, oh my goodness. We're up to 1 core. We're also up to, like, no space, nearly. I'm gonna leave the Jenny cores there, though. I don't need that much weight on me. 2 cores. So we're up to 16 books total. And 2 cores. 17 books. Oh, boy. 3 cores. I bet a bunch of people are getting nervous. I bet a lot of people are getting nervous. I haven't even hit the big safe yet. I need a new person to, like, do the carrying, though. I'm nearly out of space. So, Rain, you should pick up your bed. No, not with Poetic. Quit stealing people's stupid bags, sleeping bags. Oh boy. I honestly thought, well, who knows? Who cares what I think? Alright, yet another book. I think King has room for this book, though. Yeah, because they stack. Okay, meds. 0% chance to pick that. I'll do the safe last. Because I think that's the most likely to have the last core. Just hold you in all suspense. Until then. Out of room, so Rain, you start doing it. So how many books does King have? Because this is getting ridiculous. 8, 12, 16, 20, 21 books, I think. At a quick glance. So far. My streamer luck is 22 in engineering. My streamer luck is honestly absurd. 24 books and 2 engineering. I'll pick up the advanced meds so I don't have to manufacture them because I don't have medical storage back in the base. So making advanced med packs and splints is kind of annoying. Requires a lot of micromanagement. Alright, so I have searched everything but the last safe, correct? I'm going to double check everything, and then we'll do the last safe as a... Is there a core inside reveal? Oh, these things sell pretty good, too. I don't need the money, but I might as well grab them. Alrighty. King has no chance to open that safe. Els? Can you? 7%. Alright. So he's the only one that can even pick the safe. Worst case scenario, you could always use the tools that I looted. But now that I know I don't need the tools, because everyone can pick, I'm just going to ditch the tools. Because they're just not worth... They're not worth much. Here it is! 4 cores! Did it twice! Oh, man. 30% of you rolling in the points. Congrats. Quattro. I got a quad core up in this shizzy. Oran, I'm going to have to send... Ooh, I should have you grab your bag, though. Go back down. I don't know what the chance of that was, but it's pretty low. It's pretty low. As a veteran Kenshi player, 4-core labs are rare. They're the unicorn of Kenshi, so the fact that I have back-to-back 4-core labs is a little silly. Honestly, it's a little silly. I know that you guys want to see me loot level 2. I don't know why, because there's not going to be cores or books in level 2, but I'll do it for your reasons. So here's an electrical component that I'm going to ignore. Steel bars that I don't care about. More electrical components that I don't care about. So there you go. Level 2 is looted. There's none of those weird boxes at level 3 that are here. And then these generators are always empty. Els, are you stuck? No, you're just dumb. Okay, streamer magic. I know it's honestly absurd. I don't think I've ever. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. So before I get everyone up, I'm going to check everybody's leg injuries to make sure that nobody is going to hobble home at like 1 mile an hour, because I don't want to carry anyone if I can help it. Except for Rockman, the one exception, because I have no choice. Yeah, everybody's legs are good. Nobody's legs are slow. So someone's going to have to hold or carry Rockman, but everybody else will be locomotive. So I'll figure out who that person, that lucky carrier will be. Likely, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand Kang's bag to Rockfin, Rockfin's bag to Kang, and then have Kang carry Rockfin. That's probably the fastest, most logical solution. Do a bag swap. So Rockfin will be holding all the tech in his bag, and then... That was quite the yield. It's almost a shame that we're not going for robotics tech. So for those that don't know, making your own robotic limbs requires a lot of technology investment, like an extraordinary amount of technology investment of books and whatnot. So getting labs full of books and cores makes it viable. But obviously we don't need to do that, because only Rockfin's missing limbs. Who else has a bag space? Orin. Alright, so Kang's moving at 31 miles an hour. And Rockfin has the bag full of stuff. We're pretty much out of food. So that's a concern. I think Orin, yeah, we're out of food. I'm pretty sure we're totally being of food. There's nowhere to buy food anywhere near here. Like, the closest place is probably Flotsam Village. I could head that way. The problem with heading to Flotsam Village is it does have us cutting straight through the cannibal lands, which I guess we're faster than the cannibals, so it's fine. Rockfin should carry himself. Learn. Oh, Jesus. Speaking of learn from my mistakes. No leg wounds. I just busted straight into a spider. Just because we're away from the security spiders doesn't mean the rest of these spiders are, harmless. Especially as you go into the water, because as you travel into the water, they can catch up to you and slice you good. So I'm gonna swim. If you swim deep enough, because they can't swim, they crawl. As long as the water's deep enough, they're too far below you to do you damage. But if you're swimming in the shallows, that's when it's particularly dangerous, because you can't fight back and they can slice you up. And you can't really move that fast because swimming's slow. The new goal is just to head home. And maybe buy a leg on the way. I don't need a great leg. Like, it would be great if I got like a Masterwork Scout leg, don't get me wrong. In fact, King, what leg did you lose? Are we buddies? You lost left. I think I lost right. No, I lost left as well. Rockfin now doesn't have organic left limbs. He's all right. I'm sorry. He doesn't have any left. There's a lot of bad puns in here. I should pick up Rockfin's leg and use it to distract the fog. I think the leg fell through the facility and was unlootable. Yeah, Rockfin's alright because he's got nothing left. It's perfect. It was meant to be. He knows how to put his best foot forward. Keep it going, chat. Keep it going. You aren't half the man that he is. That's another good one. Because, you know, kind of missing half his body. Come on, chat. I believe in you. You got more puns out of you. Another good way to... no, I'm just gonna head home. King. I'm trying to think of, what robotic traders are I'm away. Oh, God, Purple Sands, you're so loud. How the lab turned out? The lab turned out great for everybody but Rockfin. Rockfin, gave life and limb to the lab. He's alive, but... You know how it goes. Right, making sure I'm not missing anyone. I feel like Miss Frizzle with the Magic School Bus having to take roll call for all of these. Rockfin really stood up for himself. Go away, Beaks. Don't make me trash you. How are they not catching me? They move at like 36 miles an hour. I move at 20. They can't catch me? They weren't trying. So one thing I could do once I get a little bit closer to home is to break from the group and head to prosthetics to try to find something for Rockfin. Let me get more inland, because I don't want to be deep in Berserker country. Because of, well, Berserkers. Hello! Wait, what are you? You're Berserkers, right? Why can't I click you? Yeah, Berserker country. Kang asked Rockfin to give him 5, but it didn't mean literally. I like that one. The pathing here is annoying, so I'm just going to have to run to the path. Hey, Screamers, can you just not get all naked and hug me? Thanks. The Screechers there, like... they desire to give happy little naked hugs with their little blades and hacked pieces. So I guess there is a prosthetics trader in Mongrel. Okay, game. Chill with the ambient. I know it's windy, but it doesn't need to be F5 windy. Get out of here with that nonsense. So Kang is running ahead with Rockfin, because there's no way the fog is going to catch him. And he's going to go into Mongrel with Rockfin on in tow. And hopefully manage to buy Limb. So Rockfin and Kang going to drop into the Crafter Squad, just so I could see if they're blinking. A.k.a. in danger. Well, everybody else heads home. I don't really want to run through Obedience, so I'm going to run around the north edge of the Floodlands, because that's going to be a little bit more comfortable, I think. And I'll probably be playing a little bit later, past the timer here, just to get home. So I don't leave it as a... Oh, thank goodness. I don't leave it as an unfinished excursion. You guys aren't stuck. Come on now. There we go. Oh, Jesus. Why you go that way? Stop it. Oh my god. I am disappointed in you and all of the things you've chosen to be. I'm going to try to click here on the road. Nope. They are... Alright. Hopefully they know where they're going. But let me drop ambient for now, because some of these zones are a little bit louder than they need to be, I think. King's almost all the way in Mongrel by now. I feel like the moment I put ambient back on, the game's gonna go, hey, guess what? Wind. I like a little bit of ambient. I like a little bit of the environment noise, but I don't like tinnitus. And if I had but one complaint of Kenshi, it would be normalizing audio volumes for the sake of our eardrums. I had to, I'm literally DJing, so for those that don't know, as you can see, I don't have the music on at all. I have music volume to 0, and I ripped all the soundtrack out of Kenshi, and there's like 260 tracks or something, and created my own playlists and normalized the volume myself so that I can listen to Kenshi's honestly wonderful soundtrack without actually blowing out my eardrums, because by default, their soundtrack will blow out your eardrums. So, yop. Alright, here we are. We are nice in Mongrel. Yeah, I bet the ambient noise will be better in Kenshi 2. My guess is that some of the soundtrack problems are a result of the ambient. It's a result of, like, the way the game works with its ambient volume or something. Alright, so I need left leg. Yeah! Science! And I'm not going to finish that quote. Well, that went pretty well. Becoming the $1 Million Man. Sweet. What about for King? King, is there a better leg for you? You are what, left as well? Booyakasha! Double! No room for that item? What are you talking about? There's room for that item. Right there. See? Magic. So now we're double masterwork. So Kang now runs faster. Rockfin, you can put him down. Boink. Okay, Rockfin, you can also stand up. Yeah. Rockfin was like, wait, I got legs. Oh, the streamer luck is very real. Okay, I do have some more stuff that I don't need. So now Rockfin and King should be roughly around the same speed. Yep, they're both 35 miles an hour. Because their athletics is 91 and 92 respectively. I know that I need a whole lot of food because the rest of the squad is starving to death. So let me go tend to that. I don't need all these repair kits. Okay, so that's all the food they have to sell. I think there's other bars here. Oh, I actually know there's other bars there, because Mongrel is a particularly depressed town that has a lot of... that has bars. Mongrel and World's End are just, like, chock full of bars. But I don't have a lot of room for more food. But, I'll do what I can. Make as much room as I'm able. One of my characters not starving? Honestly, when I'm home and farming uninterruptedly, it's kind of not a problem. It's just that when I'm going on excursions, Shek eat ridiculous amounts of food, and that causes problems. Now, it's too bad that I don't have more people here, because obviously the Shinobi Thieves are going to have backpacks for me to buy. But, I mean, whatever. Alright, so now both of them are sort of rendezvousing with the rest of the group, and the rest of the group should head south. But I have to be careful about how I head south, because I'm deep within Holy Nation territory, and starving. So it's not, and a lot of people are still injured from that last fight. Yeah, we still have some latent injuries, not too many. Actually, really not very many at all, just one, just L's in his left arm. But I don't want to get in a fight with a giant paladin squad, because I'm trying to end the stream, not end someone's life. Yeah, the hunger rate of the Shek is pretty high. They're hungry boys and girls. I like how I can pass right in front of a holy military base and they don't do anything. They have even mounted crossbows that I probably was in range of, and they just were like, okay, bye, Shek squad. With very little consideration. So I'm going to set Rockvin and King to follow just one random person in the squad, and I think they'll probably catch up. But now, one thing I just realized is I can go to the roster here, and Rockvin's left arm and right leg and King's left leg are all check-offable here. So I checked them off because now they're as good as they can possibly get. If only I could ruin this statue. Shek are always starving like Praetorians. Yeah, they're just hungry. They're bloodthirsty. Nothing wrong with a little bit of bloodthirst, as long as it's quenchable. I can't believe I found double legs. It's absurd. And the 4 cores. I mean, honestly, it's just obscene. MMX SC and Bonkers, thank you for the follow and welcome. Sorry I missed it at the time. So who's in front? Who's closer? Ooh, is Rockvin outrunning Kang? Oh no, I think it's the inverse. I think Rockvin fell behind. Which makes sense, because he's actually he's brimming with food. For the sake of everybody else, I'm gonna have Shager squad wait up, because they're all starving. Because as soon as Rockvin gets close, all of Shager squad is gonna eat as soon as I merge the 2 squads. Hey, Bone Dog, quit it. Because you only keep in mind you only share with your active squad members. So if you're in 2 different squads, there is no sharing. Come on, Rockvin. And then everybody ate vegetables. Yeah, so they ate every food item that Rockvin had in his backpack. And then King trade with Rockvin. Because stuff in your inventory doesn't count as your backpack. It's only backpack. So, alright, now everybody ate. I still have a little bit of food left, not too much. And we're going to make our way home. Yeah, that food went poof pretty quickly. It may be worth Rockvin or King, or rather Rockvin, swinging by the hub. Let's all swing by the hub. Get some hub grub. So there's really only one lab left, and that last lab isn't even labeled as a lab. Exactly. And then there's some other places that you can find AI cores outside of the Ashlands as well. But that might be the last AI core set that we need. I'm not really sure we're going to need much more than we currently have. Come on, load. What are cores for? They're for really, really high-tech items. So if you look at the research tree right now, stuff like fully automatic ore drills require 2 AI cores. The highest level of swords that we can manufacture required 4 AI cores. The hydroponic food growing requires AI cores. Some of the best possible... oh, I didn't mean to buy that. The best possible prosthetic limbs and stuff require AI cores. Like, the best tech requires the cores. But there's a very finite amount of cores that exist I've just gotten extraordinarily lucky with core drops from tech labs. You can, in default vanilla Kenshi, you can buy 2 cores off of the scrap house, and then there are tech labs dotted around the map that you can loot cores from. But you can absolutely, oh dang it, you can absolutely get unlucky to a point where like you just don't really have enough AI cores to unlock all the tech. For the shack, all food is like Chinese food. You're 10 minutes later and you're hungry. I don't know. The Chinese food I like really fills me up. But it depends on what Chinese food you're talking about, I suppose. As far as I'm concerned, there's 2 types of Chinese food. There's actual Chinese food, and then there's American or Western Chinese food. And those 2 are so different from one another, it's like embarrassing. Actual Chinese food and what Western style Chinese food are completely unrelated, almost entirely. Is British Chinese food the same as American? Well, I haven't been to the UK, but I'd imagine yes. It's like Chinese food adapted to the Western palate versus Chinese food that isn't adapted to the Western palate. The actual Chinese food is nothing like most of the Chinese restaurants that you get, at least here in the States. There's like almost nothing on the menu that would be similar. Even the dishes that share the same name aren't the same dishes. So like, you know, traditional Kung Pao chicken in China is nothing like anything you'd find in the States. Same way, like, you go to Taco Bell, you're not going to find like authentic, you know, Central or South American food. It's Taco Bell. I'm not saying Taco Bell is bad, I'm just saying Taco Bell is not. And it's not trying to masquerade as like authentic cuisine. But I really, really, really love like Szechuan style Chinese food. I don't really care for American Chinese food much because it doesn't really appeal to me. But it's worth trying. Why does everyone hate on Taco Bell? It's not that they hate on Taco Bell, it's that they hate what Taco Bell does to their insides once they're done eating it. I'm not hating on Taco Bell. I'm just saying I don't like passing magma. I don't like having a mortar team, you know, down below. I don't like giving birth to a Balrog. Come on, load. I'm so close to home. Mapo tofu. Yeah, that's as close to real Chinese food in the US as most places. I agree, actually, Fangface. Having been to China twice and having eaten mapo tofu in like 100 different restaurants in my lifetime, Szechuan style mapo tofu is probably the closest you get to authentic Chinese food in America. Or some soups. Some soups get pretty close. So if you get, you know, like Chinese soups, they're closer to Chinese style. So if you get like soup dumplings or something, that's pretty close to like what you can get in China as well. There's a few dishes that are the same, but like 98% of the menu is not. We're home. We are home. Let me put stuff away so that next stream I don't have to dig through my inventory and figure out what the heck is going on. I also think that I just unemployed Kang as our resident transportation device because Rockfin is basically just as strong and just as fast now. So sorry, Kang. You are not special. That feels mean to say. He is special. He holds a special place in my heart. He has bailed us out of so many, like, near-death beak thing. But, yeah. Alright, putting stuff away. So, next stream, we're in a really good position to start fighting scary enemies. Maybe not the scariest of scary enemies. I'm trying to be a little bit of cagey about how I'm exactly saying it. but I'll be more blunt. I don't think we're really ready for tackling the Holy Nation. We would die. Like, we would legitimately just get wiped out and die. But we're pretty close to being able to... Oh, where the hell is Orin? Orin? Oh, I guess they're just, they just lagged behind a little bit. So we're not really ready to take on the Shek Kingdom. We're not really ready to take on the Holy Nation. We definitely need a bit more training under our belt and better weapons and stuff like that. But we are very close. We're probably able to take on the Splinter Shek. And then once the Splinter Shek are dead, what we could do is we could hunt evil factions for their Meito weapons only as a method of skill training and strength training and the like. Not that, you know, we're necessarily trying to obtain all the Meito weapons or anything like that. We're not. But as a means to an end for combat training, because a lot of the factions that have Meito weapons are also factions that are really tough. We're obviously going to be able to get just about all of the research that we want to get at this point, because we have just a ridiculous and crazy abundance of cores, and I don't know why I got all these cores, but I did. And then if we do want to invest in any additional blueprints or technology, we are obviously going to have the funds for it, because I just walked out of that lab with like 200,000 worth of cats of goods. So we're going to be rolling in dough as soon as I make it to a a vendor. So that's not going to be an issue either. So exciting times ahead is, I guess, what I'm trying to say. Very, very excited to start actually checking more of these goals here on the right off the list. Very eager, in fact. But I don't want to jump the gun too quickly because, you know, as successful as we have been, Kenshi's very unforgiving. You pick on an enemy a little bit too strong for you, and you're going to get kicked all the way back to the start, which is brutal. Thank you for tuning in to Kenshi Shek's Conquest, which originally streamed live on Twitch January 6th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, please let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you for everyone that turns out to a live stream, subs, becomes a Patreon patron, or just simply likes and subscribes on YouTube. I really appreciate it. I'll catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, fellow Shek.